Okay, so we know on the basis of these factors, the soil can be categorized as like into these categories, into these types. We have alluvial soil, which is loamy in texture, and the moment I say loamy, no doubt should come in your mind, children, equal proportion of sand, silt, and clay. Okay, like you can say more or less the size of the granules would be on an average equal in size. Okay, then you have black soil, clay in texture, you have red and yellow soil, you have laterite soil, you have arid soil, and the forest soil. So, in our syllabus, we have to deal with these six types of soil. One more thing, children. I have seen many people, like many children, please, referring to number of books, 6 to 7 books. I never recommend, you know, you like I would never recommend you all to practice or to study in such a manner, children. You know, wholeheartedly you devote yourself to one book or more than one, just two, but not more than that. Otherwise, you'll never be satisfied. You'll always have this feeling, okay, he has done Arihant, I have done XYZ publication only. Fine. So, one, what I am trying to do is I am framing all the possible questions which you can get from each topic, as you must have also observed from the assignments. Even if we are dealing with just one, I have framed 10 to 15 questions. Okay, so just try to go with the flow. Do that, revise, frame your own questions, discuss with your friends, have a good coordination with your friends. Have a very good coordination with your friends. Just ask them, okay, tell me the answer of this question. This is like related to all the subjects. Particularly, I would be talking about socials, that I think you should just do like this only. But if you want, you can refer to, like, you can have a reference from many books. That's up to you. I, on my part, that was my duty to suggest you, so therefore. Okay, so now moving ahead, we have alluvial soil. Alluvial soil, as the name is suggesting, that it is made of up of the alluvium. Who brings that alluvium? Alluvium is nothing but the finer sediments which just weather up and they give you finer soil. Okay, so alluvial soil, the most widely spread, near about, if I say, um, more than 30 to 40% of the land of this arable land is covered with like alluvial soil. If we talk about, so much of the land is covered with alluvial soil. Expanded, this is of expanded nature, so I can say that alluvial soil has a good proportion, but it is, again, we know there is diversity in the availability of resources. So again, so alluvial soil, we would be saying that the most widely spread and important soil, it is loamy in texture, you know that. That means equal proportion or adequate proportions of sand, silt, and clay. Now, if we talk about northern plains, the soil is formed by the three important Himalayan river systems, because these Himalayan river systems bring alluvium with them, the finer sediments with them, straight from the Himalayas, straight from those mountains to the lower flood plains, the lower river valleys. Upper river valleys, if this is a mountain, this is upper river valley. The river will start from here. You know what is this area known as, where the streams divide into two parts. And in India, Ambala is which place? Try to integrate. So then the river will flow. And it will flow. Then actually from here the plains would be starting. Okay. So this was about, like, in the northern plains we have three important Himalayan river systems: the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra. Then the soil is also found in eastern coastal plains. Now, what can be the reason for the eastern coastal plains? Because we have deltas. We have deltas of important rivers, especially of Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri. So, MGKK, we have the delta of these rivers, and the delta, delta is also again the finer alluvium. So, yes, so the river is found in the northern plains. That means the whole northern plains are made up of by the deposition by these three important Himalayan rivers. Plus, why are they found in the eastern coastal plains? Because especially of the deltas, of Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri rivers. Okay, now one more thing. Sorry. One more thing, children. Before I come to this quality of the soil, one more thing is the texture of the soil or the upper reaches. You can get a question like, is the alluvial soil finer towards the lower valleys, river valley, or coarser towards the lower river valley? So this is a mountain. Like the river would start from here, would start bringing the sediments. So this is the area from where actual plains are about to start. This region, basically the foot of the mountains, generally we call this region as Piedmont. What is this region? Piedmont. It is just mentioned in your book, but you should know, as I want my students to know everything related to a topic. So this is Piedmont. I repeat, if this is a mountain, the foot of the mountain. So you can call it as a transition between mountains and the actual plains. If you remember, if you recall that northern plains, the longitudinal division, children. So we had Bhabbar zone, the boulders, and then the streams re-emerge, the Rai zone. Remember that? Then we had Bhangar, and then we had Khadar. Remember that? So this Tarai is that transitional area. Bhabbar also you can call that transitional area, but Bhabbar is made up of boulders, so we cannot call this as plain. So Piedmont plain is basically a type of the plain, but just at the foothill of the mountains. So it is not properly leveled, it is not properly lower. When the river flows, so then it would flow towards the plains, down towards the plains. Fine. So it's just mentioned, I thought to explain you the Piedmont. If you come to page 8 of NCERT, it is given as we move inland towards the river valley. So this is a river valley again. So if we move inland towards the river valley, here inland from where the river started, so the size of the particles, the soil particles, are bigger in size. Why? Because obviously the river started from here, the river has bigger sediments with it, and the more it will move towards the plains, toward the lower reaches of the valley, the size of the particles would be finer because bigger one would be left behind. Fine. So this, I think I can frame a question in the upper reaches of the river valley. Here is upper reaches near the place of the break of the slope. Here the slope is breaking. If you see here, this is the slope. This is the slope. So the soils are coarser in texture. Yes, towards the inland river valleys, children, means towards where the river started, or you can say upper river valley. Upper reaches of the river valley near the break of the slope, the soil are coarse. And you all must have studied also in the previous classes that yes, the soil towards where the soil started, the particles, the sediments are coarser in texture. Big sediments, boulders are there, and then when the river move towards the ocean or towards the sea, the sediments become finer. Why? Because of the reduction in the carrying capacity of the river. This is just obvious one. So the soil are coarse, and this region, as I told you, Piedmont. So Piedmont is known by different names, by different regional names like Duars. It is known by the name of Duar. It is known by the name of Kos. It is known by the name of Tarai. You know Tarai, Nepal region. That India-Nepal border is Tarai. Okay, where we have Madhesis. I told you, Madhesis. So, and then we have Dwars. Dwars we call the Tarai region of the northeast. We call it as Dwar. And what is this Kos? What is this Kos? Kos is basically, in Punjab plains we call it as Kos, whereas in Himachal region we call it as Khads. Khads, Khads. So this is again a regional name, and children, this Kos, this is a very problematic region. And why? Because this Kos is nothing but stream of water carrying sediments, and then it erodes the soil. So there, regionally, what the farmers tell you, if you ask them, Bhaiya, what is Kos? They will say Kos is nothing but just a splash erosion. or just a soil erosion because stream comes and erodes the soil. So that is coarse. Not in your syllabus, I repeat, but you should know. So the coarse soils are found in the Piedmont plains. True or false? True. True. Why? Because Piedmont plain is the upper reaches of the valley. Okay? Where the foot of the mountain is there. False. True. True. Why? Because Piedmont plain is the upper reaches of the valley. Okay? Where the foot of the mountain is there. That is the Piedmont plain. I hope it is clear. So, yes, the coarse soils are more common in the Piedmont plains. What is the regional name? Duar, Kos, and Tarai. This was alluvial soil. The regions, if I talk about the regional one, then if I come to the quality, the soil is very fertile as it contains the adequate proportion. Now, this is about the chemical property: potash, phosphoric acid, and lime. Okay, PPL. PPL. Children, you must be knowing that the soil wants in adequate quantity NPK. Okay, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So, yes, it has phosphoric acid, it has potash, but it lacks. It lacks. Where is N here? N is not here. So, yes, it lacks nitrogen. You can say that. Therefore, leguminous plants are grown here. So, it is rich in this, in potash, phosphoric acid, and lime. It has adequate proportion, so it is very fertile. Then, due to its high fertility, the regions are intensively cultivated and the regions are densely populated ones. So just a one marker question: why are the alluvial soil regions densely populated? Because the soil is fertile as it contains adequate proportion of potash, phosphoric acid, and lime, as well as the texture of the soil is suitable for the cultivation of crops. Therefore, the region is intensively cultivated. So I hope we are clear till now. Alluvial soil. Then, if I talk about the distribution of the soil, again with the help of a map, I know this is a part of Punjab plains. This is where, children, I told you na coast. So a bit thoda yahan pe coast. The problem is there, this one is Tarai, this one is Dwars. Okay. Then this whole northern plain formed because of the deposition by the three rivers: Indus river system, Ganga river system, and then you have Brahmaputra river system. Why is it found in the eastern coastal plain? Just a one marker question. Because of the deltas formed by these rivers, we have Mahanadi, we have Godavari, we have Krishna, and we have Kaveri. Okay, then here also, why is it here? Why is alluvial soil here? I haven't mentioned. Why? Because of the wave action. The waves bring coastal alluvium along with the wave. The waves hit the coast. So therefore we have coastal alluvium. And children, just a part of enrichment. This region is the creek region. Sir Creek. It is the creek region. It is full of resources. Creek region, CREEK, a disputed region between India and Pakistan, our loving neighbor. So, fine. So, this is about the distribution of the soil. Northern plains, then you have northeast. Northern plains, in fact, for that matter, consist of northeast as well. Northern plains. Then you have eastern coastal plains because of the delta, and you have this, and it also stretches because of the water effect and because of the wind as well to this area through a narrow corridor. So this was about the distribution of the alluvial soil. The division on the basis of age. We have studied alluvial soil. We have seen that yes, the soil is loamy in texture, has adequate proportion of sand, silt, and clay, and towards the upper reaches of the valley from where the river started, towards the break of the slope, the soil is coarser in texture, and which is more common in the Dwars, in the Kos, and the Tarai. And I have told you the regions also. These are nothing but the regional names. Now, the last part for today is related to alluvial soil, children. is the division. Now this comes, I've generally seen that yes, this comes. This is an obvious question, but still I think this must be a favorite topic for the paper setters. So okay, let us just go through it. We know we have Bhangar. The river starts from here. Okay, so we have Bhabar zone. If we talk about the zones, we have Taraivan, the swampy region. We have Bhangar and we have Khadar. Generally, this happens. Bhangar, so towards the lower reaches, we get Khadar. Lower floodplains, if I talk about the lower floodplains, if the river starts like this, children, if the river starts like this, okay, so this region is your Khadar, the new alluvium. This region is your Bhangar because river is starting like this, river is moving like this. Then again you have Tarai and you have Bhabar. Fine. So this was just, I tried to draw the longitudinal division. So Bhangar is the old alluvium, Khadar is the new alluvium. Bhangar is higher concentration of conker nodules. These conker nodules are nothing but the calcareous depositions. Fine, conker nodules, calcareous depositions. So it has higher concentration of conker nodules, but it has less concentration. Since it has high concentration, so it is coarser in texture. So coarser in texture, that means low water retention capacity, porous in nature, and this is finer in texture. And this one is less fertile and the Khadar is more fertile. So this was about the difference between Khadar and Bhangar.